Hi everyone, it's 16th of March 2021 and let's have a look at the charts. First chart I want to look at is Bitcoin. So a couple of days ago when I made a video saying I'm a little bit cautious about trading and about Bitcoin in general, it was because of the the stuff that I've mentioned in the video, what I'm a little bit worried about. And since then Bitcoin has dropped quite a bit. And I haven't traded during those days, and I've only taken one trade today, but I'll get onto that in a sec. In terms of Bitcoin, we've bounced off this 0.382 fib level on the second day. Just perfectly hit it today, went below it, but it looks like, I mean, we have a couple of hours left until close, but it looks like it's going to close above it. If we look at the weekly chart, we're way too far away from the 10-day moving average, 10 period moving average. To be honest with you, I would love if Bitcoin just comes to these levels, 46, and just retests it. I believe it's going way too high up, way too quick. I know I keep comparing the 2017 run. That was a very, very good run, and it was done in a very orderly manner, as you can see. So during the beginning, we've tested the 20-day moving average. The only time we've done that in this bull run was in the 31st of August. So I wanted to hit the 10-day moving average, but ideally I would like it to also come down to the 20 period moving average. I just think if we're gonna go to the 200 levels, we need to there needs to be a little bit of a shakeout or a period of consolidation. If we're going to those levels, I mean, if it keeps on climbing, then I don't know. I don't see it going past 100. So I think, just like I've been mentioning before, the pullback and the consolidation is very much. I believe so. It's needed, but some might not agree. Do you want to ask anything about this?
Right, yeah. So um, I was just thinking. It's sitting at the 10 period moving average at the moment, right?
But this is daily. Yeah, this is daily. If I go to weekly, it's nowhere near it. 10 period moving average on 46. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I mean, how long? How during this sort of bull run? How often has it gone below the moving averages?
T-
It's done it.
okay.
He's done it twice, and I can see that
Yeah. On the daily? You mean on the daily?
on the daily. Yeah.
Yeah. It's done it like a couple of times, and it's very normal for it like to go down below it. It's very normal. It's just it hasn't done it in a weekly in a while. In quite a while. So I would like it to just come down a little bit. But obviously, it's gonna do whatever the hell it wants.
What do you expect it to do now?
What do I expect it? I'm up. I mean, right now we have to go down and look at the lower time frames to identify a potential pattern, and then we can sort of make our minds what is likely to happen. So in the last drop, let me just show you. In this drop here, if I just go to the daily, I've mentioned this before. We had a head and shoulders. This was a head. This was shoulder, left shoulder, and this was the right shoulder. As soon as it broke this horizontal resistance line, it went up and all the way. Yes, and as you can see, it has reached the target of 61,400, and bang on there it reversed. So I'm just gonna have to see what sort of potential chart pattern that you develop in the intraday time frame. So from that we can see in terms of fib levels, it normally what it does was even even if I just go back to the previous ones, it uh, so from that to that, you can see just it hits the zero point 0.3 level, it hovers around it, and then it just drops a little bit. So it's zero point 0.3, 0.5, and 0.618. Those are the levels that it seems to be respecting. Um, if it doesn't, then we'll we'll just uh, the next sort of resistance support zone would be 42,000 around this area. Yeah, if it doesn't like
Mm.
respect those. But we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see on the intraday what chart what pattern it develops. I want to move on to alts. I think we have a few potential setups on alts. I'll just go through all of them first. There's nothing really on Doge. I spoke about Doge. VET had this little break yesterday above the resistance zone that I mentioned. It was way too high up for me, so I just waited. I'm waiting for it to come down to perhaps potentially enter this trade. But in just one candle, it reached the head and shoulders target zone. But this is just a target zone. It doesn't really mean much. I believe this could be potential bottoming pattern. If it is, then the potential upside is we could go back to these highs. So BTC, VT, BTC is on my radar. Zelica, same thing, ranging. ETH BTC is nothing here. Dot BTC, nothing here. Dot USD, there was nothing there, so I just removed it. That symmetrical triangle, it didn't do anything, so I just removed it. Sushi is still waiting for the break above this horizontal line to give me this head and shoulders continuation play. Uni, nothing. It's not really doing anything. Um, yeah, so this is one for today to look at, to keep on the radar. I mentioned in the previous stream. Cav BTC, as you can see, it's made this head and shoulders. A break above this would I would be very interested in that, in entering the trade. KSM potentially has done a head and shoulders. This is not a pretty looking one, because we have a left shoulder which is much bigger, and the in duration one is much longer than the right shoulder. But as you can see, as soon as it broke that, it's just heading up. This is bear in mind against BTC as well. OGN yesterday, it had a very large candle. This one other thing that I'm waiting for a bit of a pullback to enter. This is way too big. If I wanted to reach these levels, if this is my target, not that I wanted to reach these levels, but if this is my target, I will be I want to have a good risk reward ratio. So for example, if I just enter here, place this, there's nothing really here. I would need to look at intraday, maybe under this candle. Yep. And then what we're looking for potentially is 3 to 1 risk reward ratio. Yeah, entering here, I would understand. So this is one for me for today to look at. One, this is another thing that I wanted to mention. So yesterday it broke this horizontal level, but it didn't break it up high enough. So what I do is, the way I trade is I have this daily ATR, 30-day period ATR, shown here. So what I do is I take this number here on the last day, and I divide it by 2, and then I add it to this horizontal line. If it breaks above it, then I would enter the trade. If it doesn't, then I would keep this in my watch list. So the only time when I enter the trade, when not on the close, is when this breaks above the horizontal line, but it breaks below my half ATR, 30 period ATR. So what I did was I placed a stop buy limit in this area, and it climbed up. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to sell it because this happened way too quick. So I wasn't able to take half of my position away. So this would have been a break even for me. It just climbed up way too quick, but that's okay. I'll just wait for it to climb up again, and I'll sell half of my position. The reason why I'm talking about these charts, potential, head and shoulders bottoms, because they can produce very good trades. As an example, I wanted to show you this. It's another head and shoulders. You could potentially think of this maybe a cup and handle if you don't like the head and shoulders. This shoulder is way too small, and it hasn't. And the duration is small as well compared to the right shoulder. So you can think of it as cup and handle, but either way, it's a bottoming formation, and as you can see, it's had a massive gains. Of course, this doesn't mean you go in to the trade by risking everything, because I'm gonna give you another example of ETH BTC on the weekly. Now, ETH BTC on the weekly, this produced a very good head and shoulders, and the higher you climb up on, the higher you go up in time frames, the more reliable they are. So this one should have been very reliable, but as you can see, as soon as he broke down these horizontal levels, it just went down. It just took a shit. So it doesn't. There's no such thing as certainty, but
Will
as
still be in play.
this as if it climbs up again. So my trading strategy is I would enter a trade twice. I would give a chart pattern two chances. So this was one chance, and if it does that again, I'll give it a second chance, and I'll enter the trade. If it doesn't, then it's fine. I'll wait for it to see what happens. But on the weekly, this was I was confident in this trade, and obviously it didn't work out. But that's fine. That's trading. That's what happens. Yeah. So
Go back on the one.
yeah, there.
All right. Okay, so with this one, your target is based on the depth. Is it the depth
Yeah.
or
So
how
that
high
this
the
is how.
head is?
Yeah. This is how the head and shoulders measures from the head to the horizontal line, and that added to the horizontal line.
All right. And at what point do you enter the trade? Because as we've seen before, once it breaks, it
Yeah.
isn't a guarantee because obviously they do
Yeah.
break. They come down as well.
Okay.
So do you wait for a confirmation close or do
Yeah,
you?
yeah. So normally I wait for the confirmation close. I would show it here, but we'll need to do a bit of math. So I would need to do add up these ATR numbers, divide that by two. So the last ATR number that happened is 0.0000, whatever, 234. That divide by two, add to this resistance zone, and then that will produce a line somewhere here. And this was below it, right? So it's not
Yeah.
confirmation to enter the trade. However, normally when that happens is the second candle, the second day, it breaks it. As soon as it breaks the top of it, it goes, it climbs up much higher, and that's what happened. So I placed the uh, stop buy order here. So as soon as it went above it, it triggered my order, but I wasn't
Mm.
able to sell this because if this is my risk reward, uh, so if I entered there and then I placed the stop loss somewhere here, I can't remember. I went intraday just to see whether, well, no, sorry, I didn't place it there. That wasn't the trade. I placed it all the way at the bottom there.
So your stop loss will be all the way down there.
Yeah. So if, and I'm looking for the 3 to 1 risk reward. Um,
Is
yeah.
it? Would you say one chain is the most confident in terms of chart patterns?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say about more confident because one chain was 2017 coins. I don't think much of it, but a chart pattern is a chart pattern. It looks good. The other one that looks good is this one. It just, sometimes um it can look like ETH good and then just not work out, and then sometimes it can look like that. It's not very good head and shoulders, but it is a head and shoulders.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the
and
only
then it
thing with
just does
CHR
that.
is that the only thing with CHR is that I'm thinking maybe still from something news or something
Yeah, babe.
that caused
Yeah,
the pump.
yeah. But then
Um,
there's I mean, you can say the same for this, isn't it? It what it does is produces a bottom pattern, and then it just, as when it breaks, it just starts climbing up. Head and shoulders, yeah. It's So this was a head and shoulders. It's I think so. I think it's a bottoming pattern, but we're gonna have to see.
do you give any credence to volume then?
No. Well, as long as there's good liquidity within the trading, then that's okay with me. Anything more than that, oh, it's specifically looking at alts. I don't.
Or do you
BTC
look
I
at
do.
like do you pay attention to any sort of accumulation zones, and how do they look in terms of volume patterns?
Nah, the only volume that I look at is probably BTC. It's just like I mentioned the other day. The rest, I don't think of it much. It's just it adds a bit more to the trade. You know what I mean? Sometimes volume might not look good, and then that'll prevent me from entering the trade, and then that chart can just like explode to the way up, and I can miss it. So volume only I only look at it on the in terms of BTC, and that's
Right.
just it's not even a photo trade. I just look at it to see what's going on. But for this potential one BTC trade, uh, this I think is above the line. So if I didn't enter yesterday, I would enter at this point right now. If it closes like this, I would enter this. This is it's a breakout. It's a breakout from this horizontal line, and it's a close. If it closes, then it's a potential entry. So because Bitcoin is looking a little
So
bit.
you're still holding your position on
Yes.
one BTC.
Yeah, all my position. Yeah. If it climbs up to these areas, I'll sell half, and then so that becomes a break even. But at the moment, I'm holding everything because Bitcoin is not looking, so well. It's looking a little bit shady. I will enter probably maximum two trades during these periods. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just very quickly, could you just quickly look at Cardano, Adam?
yeah. I had a massive pump. Hold on, let me remove this. Yeah, it had a massive pump, but based on so I have two trading strategies. Few. So one is chart pattern, and the other one is trend following. In terms of trend following, for me, there's like so far nothing here. Um, you know,
At what point would it be a reversal?
a reversal. So on the way
Yeah.
down,
I mean, it looks like it's already on the way down, so I guess that's a trend, right? It's a downward trend.
trend is not established yet. So trend would be so that's a higher high. This is a this is not yet a lower high. This if it climbs down from here, this would be a lower high, and if it breaks below that, then it would be a lower low. So that yes, that would be a downtrend.
Oh, I see. All right, so this is still technically on an upward trend.
Yeah, technically on an upward. This has to break down, but technically on upward, but it's a stay away. So it's like there's nothing in here that would trigger a trade for me.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Okay.
There's just one more
Yep.
out of interest, if you have time. BAT.
Bat BTC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bat's been on a bit of a. Okay, I missed. This is a good one because guess what?
So that's a head and shoulders continuation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not continuation. It's a reverse head and shoulders because we had a downtrend and we have a massive
Oh,
reverse.
okay. So that would be a bottom then, right?
Yeah,
Um,
potentially. And on the way up, I mean, there's plenty of room on the way up. The only stop would be, I mean, initial stop would be that, and then hopefully if it goes above that, then up. This actually, to be honest with you, this looks better than the OGN I had and the other one because this has made a break.
yeah. Do you want
Um,
to add that to your
I
list?
will add this to my list. This bat BTC actually looks really good. We have two things here, right? So we have a head and shoulder. This is left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This, and we also have a cup and handle. So we have a chart pattern within a chart pattern. That gives us a double confirmation. Last time that happened was theta BTC. Oh, come on.
What is this 1E, I think?
Yeah, theta BTC. Yeah, so we had a cup and handle, and then we also had a ascending triangle within the cup and handle.
And it blew up.
And yeah, but obviously, if we manage our risk properly, this this could become a good trade, or you could like lose everything if you don't manage your risk properly.
Sorry, very, very quickly. Could you go into higher time frame and zoom out on bats? Just is that at the all-time low?
Oh, I
Uh,
mean, let's see.
that's probably isn't. I don't know.
Well, in terms of close, yeah. I mean, on the first day we had that massive debate. In terms of close, yeah,
Oh,
that
it is. It
that
is. It's
was an
sitting
all-time
out.
low. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool. So that is potentially a bottom then.
yeah. Potentially a bottom. We
All
have.
right.
Let me just quickly show potential target for the head and shoulders. Yeah, the target would be that. If I enter here, if even if I place a stop below that, so this is a low, this is a high low. This could turn out to be a good trade, but I'll wait for it to go double, and then I'll sell half the position, so then it's risk free, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is probably the best setup for today.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you some hopefully
Then
tomorrow.
I'll try to make a list for the next video of similar coins with similar patterns. I'll have a look at them for the next video.
Yeah, cool. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments, and if you like this video, just give us a like, please. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.